right here.
Yeah.
Columbia University expels students. Revokes degree of Hamilton Hall takeover Gaza protesters. Columbia University has expelled some students for occupying Hamilton Hall last spring, school officials announced Thursday. In a university-wide email, Columbia said that the outcomes of a months-long investigation also included multi-year suspensions and temporary revoking of other students' degrees. Today, the Columbia University Judicial Board determined findings and issued sanctions to students ranging from multi-year suspensions, temporary degree revocations, and expulsions related to the occupation of Hamilton Hall last spring. Columbia is committed to enforcing the university rules and policies and improving our disciplinary process. Columbia became the epicenter for pro-Palestinian protests last spring when an encampment in support of Gaza launched copycat tent cities on American college campuses. The demonstration came to a head in late April as protesters took Hamilton Hall, damaging property, trapping custodians inside. One officer accidentally discharged a gun. The NYPD said students documented injuries among 9 of the dozen of protesters arrested inside the building. The university's escalation and disciplinary action comes as the campus tensions are at a recent high following the detention of Mohammed Khalil, an international studies graduate student who served as negotiator during last spring's campus protests. Khalil, a green card holder, has not been accused of a crime. So basically, these guys are bending.
Well, I mean, what did people think was going to happen? Like, I mean, you're supposed to be able to protest and all this stuff, but now there's a new administration in. It's pro-Israel like the last one was, but like the last administration was kind of holding them at bay a little bit, and Trump is in it for the money. It's whatever. So, I mean, this is the price of your freedom, folks. You tried to protest on behalf of a foreign nation because you were watching a genocide, but you don't understand that the country that's committing the genocide runs our country. We've seen them put millions and millions of dollars in the primaries. They've low-key off the president. You know what I'm saying? Took down a couple buildings. I mean, there are conspiracies. There's not conspiracy. These are, okay, let's say conspiracies of what these people are doing. They have 39 states in this country that have pledged to never talk down about this country, about this certain nation that runs our country. So this is the get back. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I told people during the George Floyd protest, don't let up. Next time you decide to protest on something, you put your fucking foot on somebody's neck until the job is done. Because when you let up, they destroy your future.
I mean, you have to look at it from this perspective as well. I mean, we had the leader of this nation on the floor of the Congress speaking to a joint session of Congress, calling United States citizens dumb and, fools and everything else. And, pretty much they signed a bill to limit our free speech in this country.
And the bill was so vague. And we talked about this before. The bill was so vague, they would have to take out parts of the Bible because it spoke bad about these people.
I mean, when you look at it throughout history, there's been a number of nations that have had run-ins with this nation. I mean, you have to look at with this country, with these people, I should say. You look at it, they don't tell you about a lot of things that happen. They don't tell you about how they, in Russia, these same people killed a bunch of people, from other countries in Russia. I mean, it's a lot of history you have to really go through and look at. We'll talk about it more later. This is not a disdain for these people. It's a disdain for the policies of their nation. Their prime minister or whatever, Benjamin Netanyahu. It's a hate for the fact that our government it bends over and allows this country to run our people. How do you start taking away degrees from people because they protested? College campuses have led the way in protests here for a long time. After the American Revolution, and a few other things, we had the Civil War, other things of that nature. College campuses have been pretty much the epicenter of change in this country. It's gone everywhere. The Arab Spring was started by a lot of college students and other things of that nature. I mean, let's just be real. This has been used for years because they understand that younger people are willing to get out there and do it. Everyone else has something to do tomorrow. Younger kids are going to say, you know what? We believe in this so great, we're willing to give our lives for it. And so, to me, man, it's a travesty that this is happening in our country. We're watching this happen. That another nation runs the United States, and they're allowing our colleges now to be run by the Trump administration, and they're able to pretty much dictate what goes on in our higher education, because these people don't even want education in our country at all. They would hate for your kid to be educated because that makes you a lot more, you have empathy, you understand. I mean, when you're educated, when you're not, you're just, oh man, you're a meme. You write memes, you call everybody a name. Everyone has something, you libtard. Something is always some type of a joke. It's always some kind of a ha ha ha. If you look at it like this, I mean, I've had a lot of people who like put emojis underneath, you know, how you can like or dislike or make some kind of laughing remark. Most of those people are the ones who make the laughing remarks because they don't have a lot going on upstairs. They can't answer what you're saying. They're like, oh, I just think it's so funny you say this. You don't have anything going on. You do not want the conversation. You don't even want to talk about it because you don't have anything to talk about. Your brain's not adapt to these real subjects. You're just messed up in the head. And this is what we have running our country, man.
Yeah. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, this is Uncommon Courtesy. We will see you next time.